All right, this is the third time I'm making this video. First time it stopped and stopped recording. Second time I did the whole video and I kept it under 10 minutes, and when I went to load it, it was upside down. So we're gonna try this. This is the last time. If this doesn't work, I'm not even gonna post it. I'm just gonna take a break from it today. So I wanted to talk about, again, even though you haven't been privy to the first two times I've talked about this. Limitations on my customer service. I'm a pretty, okay, my wife would argue that I'm not, but I like to say I'm a pretty patient guy. And I take a lot on the chin. So I had a customer notify me that he sent me his knife back. And he's a return customer. I've sharpened a couple knives for him. And he notified me he was sending me back a knife that I just recently sharpened. It hasn't even been a month ago, I don't think. And he said, I don't know what you did. Something's up. It won't stay sharp. It won't hold an edge. So I'm sending it back. I sent it back to you. It's already. I get it, and I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? He says, you'll see it. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's something. Maybe I haven't screwed up a knife in a very long time, except for that one that I broke. Which the one with the blade that got replaced. That ZT is for sale. 150 about is what I'm asking. It's got a brand new blade on it. I'll make a video just simply for that. So this video is about my sharpening service. The rest of it, after my little rant here, is going to be a plug for my sharpening service. Just be advised, since I've done it twice, I'm getting better at it. Screwed the video up twice. So I get the knife in, and it comes in, and it got here quick. Guy's Northern California. It comes down, and he said, you sharpen it too thin, and da-da-da-da-da, and now it's not going to want to show up. That's what he's showing me. And if you can see it, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it real well. That's a chip. That's not something I did. I didn't do that to your knife. It didn't leave my house like that. I know that for a fact, because I would never let a knife leave my house like that. So, arguing back and forth, and I'm at work, and this guy's texting me today. He said, I said, I got the knife, and, that's not my fault. You did something. That's obviously the user. No, you made the edge too thin and it just chipped. And I was like, well, back and forth and back and forth. Come to find out, I was like, what were you cutting? He said, cardboard. I was like, were you outside when you were cutting cardboard? Did you go through the cardboard and hit something? And he, no, I was just cutting cardboard. I didn't hit the ground. I didn't hit the concrete. So I didn't hit any blocks. And I was like, that's not concrete, or that's not cardboard. Cardboard does not do that. I don't care how thin your edge is. It does not do that unless you're in it and you're prying. So back and forth. And he tells me, he's like, well, yeah, I hit a brass staple. Brass is metal. And while it is significantly softer than steel, it's going to damage that edge. So now after wasting time where I was getting paid at work, answering his foolish questions and just straight up tomfoolery, he admits, I hit a staple. I'm not fixing this for free. So in the first couple videos, I had stated that, if I don't find out from you whether you're willing to pay by tomorrow, I'm going to start it. And then you're going to owe me the full price of a sharpening, because I now have to remove a chip. Not as easy as just sharpening it, which was easier the first time. I now have to remove a chip, which adds to the cost, and you're going to pay me that. And I said that, and I said, or I will just ship the knife back to you if you're not willing to pay it. So I got the call. He wants it sharpened. He is going to pay the full price. I don't have a choice, because this is one of those times where I'm going to be a dickhead about it. Because you don't try to blame me for your stupidity. I already told him I was putting this in the video. I'm calling him stupid. He knows. I called him stupid on the phone. And he kind of chuckled and laughed it off. But But the flip side of that is, if other people hear that, my knife wouldn't hold an edge and you sharpened it, then I lose business. So just, keep in mind, don't blame people that are doing work for something you did wrong. So I am going to sharpen this for him. It is going to go back. I have to remove the chip. I have some other knives that are now in the queue ahead. So that's one of the things. Don't, I will back my work. If it just doesn't seem like it's holding edge and edge rolls, 90% of the time it's going to be the steel. Because if it came to me with a rolled edge, I would say that if I fixed it, it'd be that factory steel that the edge rolled. So the other thing that I was going to say, I have a coworker who asked me to sharpen her knife. Let's see if I can keep this one under 10. It's gotten shorter each time I've done this because I get frustrated. And this is a cheap knife. She bought it for some cool factor, but she wants it sharp. And I told her, I'm going to use this as an example of sometimes what comes that I get. This is basically a $15. It's United Cutlery. United Cutlery is. I I will say that there's some cheaper brands that make really nice knives. Kershaw makes some nice knives. Cold Steel makes cheaper knives that are. Their knives are getting expensive. They're starting to use more quality materials. That CTS XHP that's in some of their new knives. I've seen a couple of them. It's amazing. It's nice. They're using actual DLC coatings now as opposed to just spray painting the blades and then all of it comes off and the pretty comes off your blade in a couple of days. But this is an example of one of those knives that people will send me a knife and they're like, what do you, they'll expect me to, they'll send it in the mail and not send any pictures. And they're like, hey, I'm going to send it to you, get your address from someone else. And then I get the knife in and then I'm like, you should have sent me a picture. I could quote your price because you spent more in shipping than the knife is worth. And if I sharpen it, you're going to spend 3 times the cost of that knife. You bought the knife and then you paid more than the shipping. And then I'm going to charge you because it's poorly profiled, which means I have to reprofile it and I have to spend a lot of time doing it. So when you want me to sharpen a knife, I would love for everyone to do this. Send me some pictures, some quality pictures. If you're a return customer and it's a knife I've already sharpened, you can just tell me, hey, there's a chip up at the front or this and that, because I'm going to probably remember. I've got a really good memory. But, I need to be able to see certain things. I need to see how the edge lines up. If you can see how blunt and obtuse that angle is, I'm pushing pretty hard and it will not cut. Angles are poorly done. I need to see that. I need to see chips. If you're sending me a plain edge that looks like this, it's not going to be $20. It's going to be significantly more. That takes time to remove that. Had somebody ask me if I could remove serrations from a knife. I said, I can, but you're not going to want to pay what it's going to cost you. It's going to be more than our knife's worth. So I need pictures. I like to see, blade stock thickness. I'd like to see the tip. I like to see the edge profile. I like to see the tip from both sides so I can see if it's misground. This one's misground really badly at the tip and not so badly in others. It's actually, you can see the edge change, the angle change. I wish I could get some good pictures of it, but I'm not going to do that I'm not doing that kind of production value. I'm in my t-shirt and a hat, back ass hillbilly, and I'm going to do production value on it. So the other thing I was going to say is I come to a decision, and I've told some of the other customers here in San Diego, I'm going to do straight razors unless there is an issue, a specific issue. I will do straight razors for $20. Most people here in San Diego are charging $40, $45 a straight razor. So I will do straight razors for $20 unless I have to remove a chip, if I have to remove a frown, and those are the things that I'm going to want to know and quote a price. I do want to say that if I quote you a price, if you've given me quality pictures, unless there's something that just did not come out in the picture or you did not include in the picture, say you took a picture of it, but then I get it and then there's a big chip back here that you didn't get in the pictures, unless there's extreme circumstances, I'm going to stick with the price I quoted you. I've decided that. I had a knife come in, I quoted a guy a price, and then I got the knife and it was going to be more, and I here just recently, and I made the decision that day, I was like, this feels like a dick move. I did call him and say, I'm going to do it anyway at the price. But so keep in mind, please, if there's any issues with the blade, I would like to see pictures of it because it allows me to quote you an accurate price, because I don't want to eat I don't even, that doesn't mean take pictures and just leave things out, because I will evaluate whether I'm going to do it. But as long as there's no issues with the knife, real significant, and you've provided me with proper pictures, if I get it, I will stick to the price, because I don't want to be that guy that I tell you $20 and then you send me the knife and now I've got your knife in my hand and you don't have much of a choice and I tell you it's gonna be $30. It's not fair. It's not fair to you, and it would give me a bad name, and I don't want that. I like the fact that most people are pretty happy with knives that I sharpen, extremely happy, in fact. And my favorite thing to hear, hands down, to hear from a customer when they get their knife is, oh my God, I'm scared of it. It's frightening. That's perfect. That means I did exactly what you wanted. I personally think a knife should be fucking sharp enough that it scares you. That's just me. If you want it a little bit less sharp, you got to let me know, because if it doesn't, it's going to come frighteningly hair popping, hair splitting, cut into a hair and split it down the middle, kind of sharp. So look at that, 10 minutes right on the button. So I'm going to get off of here. Send me your knives, gunmonkey1974 at gmail.com. If you send me a phone number, I can call as long as I've got pictures and phone number. I will call. Keep in mind I'm in California, so time difference. And the other thing as well is if you don't want to call, if you don't want me to call, I would like to do it on text. I'd rather do it on text. It's easier. I don't have to divert attention from my daughter. I can kind of text back and forth. So I like to review the pictures. I don't necessarily want to look at them on my phone. If I'm on my phone, you send me pictures, I'll probably wait till I get home so that I can look at them on a bigger screen and get, zoom in and things like that. So like I said, that's pretty much it. This video, except for the whole video was about my sharpening service, but the last of it was just a plug. I like to buy things, and that's, you guys sending me knives is how I pay for things that are outside of paying for groceries and things like that. Any fun that I have that's my fun, I finance it on my own. I don't finance it through work. It's done through this. So I can do some minor repairs to knives. I'm not talking about, I'm not gonna order standoffs and pivots and things like that. I would say that if you have a knife that is that expensive, you could send it back to the manufacturer. So I love this thing. I love it. It's probably going to be in every one of my videos. You guys are probably going to be tired. Oh, yeah, we know you love your end tags. Shut the fuck up about it. But no, I'm not gonna. My videos. Unless you're paying me to make a video, you don't get to make that decision. So I love making these videos. These are fun. I enjoy this. Because that means that if there's people watching, I'm sorry. You're just subjected to me doing whatever I want. Because I work for the government. I don't get a choice to what I do all day. Except for this. I'm married. I don't get a choice in anything I do. She's gone. When she's gone, I can make videos. And then I have a choice of what I do. At any rate, just joking. I love my wife. She's amazing. Yeah, send me some knives. I'll sharpen them. Like I said, just get in touch with me. All right. You guys have a good afternoon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.